Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the definitive 2026 guide on exactly why your uploads fail or get stuck in processing limbo. And more importantly, we're going to break down how to fix every single one of these issues. If you're a creator, consider this the ultimate troubleshooting masterclass you need to keep your publishing schedule completely on track.
You know the exact feeling. It's this agonizing frustration that we've all experienced at some point. You've just spent hours, maybe literally pulled an all-nighter editing a massive project. You finally render it out, hit upload, watch that progress bar slowly climb, and then boom. It just hits a brick wall right at the finish line. It either hits you with an upload failed error or reaches 100% and just hangs on processing for minutes, hours, or somehow even days. It's incredibly demoralizing. But the good news here is that there's an actual science to why this happens, and almost every single one of these problems has a definitive, easy fix.
The absolute most crucial point to grasp right away is this dichotomy. Most people think uploading and processing are the exact same thing, but they are completely different beasts. Stage 1 is the upload. This is just your device physically pushing the file over the internet to the servers. If something breaks here, it's almost always on your side, your internet, your browser, your file. Stage 2 is processing. This is YouTube's side of the equation, where they take that successfully uploaded file and convert it into all those different resolutions, from 360p way up to 4K. Understanding the split is a total game changer, because it instantly tells you where the problem lies, so you aren't wasting time fixing the wrong thing.
All right, Section 1, Fixing Upload Failures. Let's tackle your side of the equation first and troubleshoot those local issues. Okay, you really have to watch out for this hidden internet speed trap. You might look at your connection and think, hey, my internet is blazing fast, because your download speed is, say, 100 megabits per second. But for actually getting your files onto a platform, download speed means absolutely nothing. It is entirely about your upload speed. You could have a massive download speed, but a tiny 2 megabit upload pipe. If you're trying to shove a huge, heavy video file through that tiny little pipe, it's going to be incredibly slow, super unreliable, and highly prone to timing out entirely. You've got to run a speed test and look specifically at that upload number.
Now, if your upload speed is actually decent, stability becomes your next big hurdle. If your connection drops for even a microsecond, the entire upload can fail. So you've got to build some strict network habits for a rock-solid pipeline. First off, if you can get fiber internet, use it. Next, and I cannot stress this enough, plug in an Ethernet cable. Wi-Fi is notorious for little micro drops. Definitely avoid public Wi-Fi at coffee shops for large files. And critically, check what else is happening on your network. Pause those automatic Dropbox or Google Drive backups and make absolutely sure someone in the next room isn't streaming a 4K movie, because that will aggressively eat up your bandwidth.
So let's say your network is perfectly hardwired, but you're still getting failures. At that point, your browser is likely the culprit. Let's walk through a quick linear progression to clear out the junk. Start simple. Just update your browser to the latest version. If that doesn't fix it, clear your browser cache. Still stuck? Disable your extensions. Sometimes an ad blocker or just a rogue plugin completely intercepts the upload script. And here's a great diagnostic shortcut. If you want to quickly see if it's an extension or cache issue, just try uploading in incognito mode. If it works perfectly there, you know for sure your standard browser environment is cluttered and needs a deep clean.
For the mobile creators out there, phones are famously tricky for large file transfers. Modern smartphones are designed to save battery at all costs, which means they will aggressively kill background tasks. If you minimize the app to check a text, your phone might just silently kill the upload. So you have to keep the app open and on the screen. Make sure you're on stable Wi-Fi. You might even need to dig into your phone's settings and disable battery optimization just for that upload session. And finally, whatever you do, do not walk out of your house during an upload. Seamlessly hopping from your home Wi-Fi to a 5G network will instantly sever the connection and ruin the upload.
Just a quick sanity check before we move on. Always make sure your device actually has room to breathe. Both your phone and your computer need temporary scratch space, like several gigabytes of it, just to manage the data transfer itself. If your hard drive is sitting at 99% full, the upload is absolutely going to crash. Also, take a quick peek at your studio dashboard. Sometimes an upload fails simply because your account has a temporary verification limit or maybe a community guidelines restriction that's actively preventing you from publishing.
Moving right along to Section 2, Solving Processing Delays. Let's look at YouTube's side of the equation and how video formats play a massive role here. This right here is the absolute holy grail of export settings. The #1 reason videos get stuck in processing is simply because creators are feeding the system unusual formats. The servers actually have to decode whatever you send them, and using unsupported formats, rare codecs, or totally bizarre variable frame rates is a massive trap. But this exact combination? It's bulletproof. You want your container to be MP4, your video codec to be H.264, and your audio codec to be AAC. If you export with these exact parameters, you are speaking the platform's native language, and processing will be infinitely smoother.
Another massive roadblock is the file itself. Insanely huge file sizes, like 8K gaming videos exported at extreme bit rates, will absolutely choke the system. You really don't always need cinema-level bit rates. Plus, if your editing software crashed during export, or your hard drive glitched out for a second, you might be uploading a totally corrupted file. It might have a black screen halfway through, or just be missing audio. The servers literally don't know how to process a broken file, so it just hangs forever. That's exactly why you must build the habit of watching your exported file end-to-end on your computer before you ever click upload.
But hey, sometimes you've done everything perfectly right, and it still just sits there. At this point, you really just have to take a deep breath and wait, because there are massive, invisible systems at work. The Content ID system is actively scanning your visual and audio tracks for copyrighted music or movie clips during this processing phase, and that takes time. Plus, remember, you're dealing with a global infrastructure. They might be running routine server maintenance, dealing with a massive influx of traffic, or even fixing a regional outage. If your site is perfect, sometimes patience is literally the only troubleshooting step you need.
And speaking of patience, let's talk about the resolution timeline. High-resolution files, specifically HDR, 4K, and 8K, take a ridiculously long time to render on the back end. Seeing only a blurry 360p version available for the first hour is totally normal as the servers crunch through all that data. Usually within a few hours, the 1080p and 4K versions will finally populate. So don't panic if your crisp 4K masterpiece looks like a pixelated mess right after the upload finishes. The system is just prioritizing getting a playable version live for your audience, while it does all the heavy lifting in the background.
However, there is absolutely a hard limit to that patience, and this is the ultimate golden rule. If it has been over 24 hours and your file is still stuck on processing, the encoding process is permanently broken. The system glitched, and waiting another day isn't going to magically fix it. When you hit that 24-hour mark, you just have to delete that incomplete file from your dashboard entirely and re-upload a fresh copy. Do not wait around indefinitely for a ghost process to finish.
Finally, Section 3, Creator Best Practices. Let's distill all of this into a foolproof workflow.
If you stick to this strict checklist, you literally strip away all the black box mystery of the platform. Number 1, always use those golden export settings, MP4, H.264, AAC. Number 2, verify your local files by actually watching them end-to-end to catch any weird corruption. Number 3, bypass Wi-Fi instability completely by using a hardwired Ethernet connection. Number 4, keep your browsers and mobile apps fully updated to avoid any software conflicts. And number 5, keep your device storage breathing with plenty of free space. If you check these 5 boxes, your upload failure rate is going to drop to near zero. So armed with all this, you're officially no longer a victim to a glitchy progress bar. You understand the architecture, you know the crucial difference between uploading and processing, and you have the exact troubleshooting tools to conquer both. Looking at your own setup right now, what is the very first step in your workflow that you're going to change before hitting export on your next project? Are you finally going to grab an Ethernet cable, tweak those render settings, or maybe just clean out your hard drive? Make that change today and keep creating. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.